Right here. There we go. Anna, we're gonna do this again 2 weeks from now. Everything will be on Monday, just like it is tonight. So on Monday, Tuesday, it'll be on Monday again. Yes, ma'am. 2 weeks from now. Yeah, it's next year. It's all right.
I have to be here at 5 regardless.
Randy's the one that forced that action.
Good job, Randy.
The lob's still here.
All right. You ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ready? All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the committee meetings for November 10th, 2025. The elected body present, Mayor Kurt Wilson, Council members David Johnson, Council member Sarah Beeson, Council member G. Lee Hills, Council member William Morthland. I am Randy Knighton, the Chief Administrative Officer, along with Chief Legal Counsel David Davidson, as well as Michelle Miller, Executive Assistant to the Council, and Deputy City Clerk. The purpose of these committee meetings are for the city departments to convey information to the mayor and city council and discuss initiatives listed on the published agenda, as well as provide updates of vital city information essential to the operation of city government. And by ordinance, the committee consists of the elected body as well as the city administrator, who serves as chair of the meetings. And this is a public meeting, but not a public hearing. Therefore, while we certainly welcome members of the public, we do not take public comments or questions in these meetings unless specifically authorized by mayor and council. Public comments and questions are received at the regular city council meetings at 7:00 p.m. in city council chambers on the second and fourth Mondays of each month. And the fifth Monday in open forum, we do encourage our residents to reach out to our online platforms if you have any questions or need information. And we continue to encourage everyone to visit our newly constituted resident and business services area here at City Hall on the ground floor. The city web service portal is another mechanism to report issues and concerns, and always check Roswell365.com for a calendar of events. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the committee meeting minutes for October 28th, 2025. Motion by Councilmember Beeson, second by Councilmember Hills. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All right, that passes unanimously. Item number 2 is listed on the regular agenda is the consideration of a memorandum of understanding between the City of Roswell and American Medical Response, AMR, to allow AMR access to the city's traffic preemption system. Chief Pavel Troche.
Yep. Oh, got it. Thank you. You came near it and started working. Good evening, everyone. It should be rather quick and to the point, but the City of Roswell Fire Department, in coordination with the Police Department as well as the Legal Department, recommends an execution of an MOU with AMR to ensure continuity of emergency response operations. Basically, what this agreement is doing is allowing AMR, which is the ambulance service provider in the City of Roswell, to access our traffic preemption system. For clarity on this, it's important to note, it comes at no cost to us, it comes at a cost to them. They have to put the devices in all the ambulances, which of course is going to provide efficiency in response to emergencies in the city. The MOU is effective till December 31st of 2027, but it can be stopped at any time if we choose to. This is also part of the service level agreement that we went into with them. This was one of the requirements that we included in that service level agreement, which was that they were to purchase this equipment for the ambulances to make sure that we can take good care of our citizens and our visitors here at the City of Roswell. Again, legal has reviewed it and they agreed with it, and we're asking for this to move forward.
Thank
I'll be
you.
happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Chief Troche. Any questions or comments regarding the matter? Yes, Mayor Wilson.
Chief, a couple of quick questions. How are the current KPIs with AMR? How we doing?
Thank you, Mayor. Fantastic question. So part of the SLA is that we have to keep up with quite the grouping of key performance indicators in the SLA, and they're doing fantastic. We're being provided a great service, and since we entered the service level agreement, they've met, every month, they've met the requirements.
Second question, thank you, Chief, as always, and thanks for your leadership on making that happen. It's been and yours too, Mr. Knighton. You guys have done a great job on that, particularly with AMR, because that wasn't always easy. The second part is, thanks for bringing preemption to the city, big deal. Other than just the technology that's going to be implemented into the ambulances, any additional training?
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 Yeah, so part of the MOU includes training and some guardrails as to when the system can be utilized and when there's restrictions from utilizing the system. For example, only under emergency response can the system be used. So yeah, there's training associated with this too that's provided by the vendor.
So that is kind of, you go, as a follow-up to that, was what kind of safeguards do we have in place, let's say, because AMR is not part of the city, obviously, it's a vendor.
Correct.
Whereas a fire truck or a police car are under very strict guidelines on how they use preemption technology. Obviously, AMR is under the same guidelines, but let's say an AMR driver violates the preemption ethic as stated in the MOU and the contract. How do we deal with that?
Great question. So we get the data not just from AMR, not from our internal sources, but also from AI, the company that's providing us the data. So we look at this on a monthly basis as well on a daily basis, but we look at the reports coming in, and if there's a violation in any way, shape, or form, number one, we'd investigate it internally, then we'd meet with AMR to substantiate basically was preemption used when it should not have been used. And then at that point, we can terminate the agreement if we see fit, or we can have discussions about what disciplinary action is going to be taken from the AMR side.
Sorry, don't mean to be solutionary.
Okay.
I apologize. I figured this is where we're going to go in this line of questioning, so forgive me. So is there a way, that's a solution, so I apologize. Is there a way to put some other pieces, or is it too late, David and Pabel, to put it into the contract of something punitive from a financial perspective? Because my assumption is there'll be some violations of preemption from time to time, because you have human beings, and not all the human beings always comply with the rules, and this is a pretty unique technology that's very important to us that needs to be used with safeguards. But if it is violated, obviously, we wouldn't necessarily want it to be an all or nothing approach where we simply sever the contract. We would like to have something in there that perhaps might provide some punitive relief to the city, and that might help, obviously, AMR perhaps reinforce its own training guidelines.
I have no opposition to that. I'll leave that up to legal. If we could put that in there,
I mean, I'm fine putting it in there and seeing if there's something that it's a negotiated contract, so.
It is a negotiated contract.
We're not done.
No, we're not done, exactly. Mr. Knighton, you've been in the middle of these negotiations, and you probably have a relatively good assessment of the ability to achieve this or not.
Right, sure. The service level agreement that Chief Troche alluded to earlier really started the parent service level agreement started probably about a year and a half ago when we began having discussions with AMR about KPIs and about measurables in terms of response time. That led to an agreement which was approved by North Fulton cities, Johns Creek, Milton, Sandy Springs, and Alpharetta, right? And quarterly, we have been receiving, actually, the subcommittee team has been receiving information almost on a monthly basis.
That's correct.
On a monthly basis. And then we've been having larger meetings on a quarterly basis to monitor their response and to assess their efficiency. And in that particular contract, there is some punitive damages that could be assessed against AMR if certain KPIs and measurements were not met. And so they obviously have that as a baseline for the parent agreement, and I would assume it would be amenable to any other stipulations that we would like to have imposed in this particular agreement related to preemption.
Yeah, preemption goes to public trust, right? And it's just where you can't violate that trust. because it's a big deal, because you're asking for an allowance, obviously in emergency situations, to respond quicker, which means you have to change the lighting system. And you just don't want a violation of that. It's a pretty sacred piece.
And I'd also add, for the benefit of this group, appreciate the leadership of Chief Trosh and his team. The relationship we have and enjoy right now with AMR is far superior to what existed, say, 2 years ago. In fact, their regional personnel and regional managers from Birmingham, is it Birmingham?
That's correct.
Birmingham, visit with us frequently to evaluate their response level and efficiency of their apparatus and their system with all of the fire personnel and or chiefs, fire chiefs, city managers of the North Fulton region. So the level of engagement and the level of response that we've received from AMR has been tremendous over the last year and a half, and that has improved in large part to Chief Trosh and his team and the other fire personnel here in North Fulton.
Randy, are you saying that Pavel's done a much better job than Joe?
That's what I heard.
I think to some degree, I seem to hear that quite often.
I will say, to Randy's point, that the work that they did with that SLA, and it absolutely is worth noting. I can say for 2 decades that I've been involved in direct negotiations with service levels agreement with what's AMR today and what was another company in the past. This is the best communication, the most accountability, and it's actually provided us as a fire department, as a city, the ability to revisit our operational response model, because now we have a level of service that's being provided that takes the pressure off of us to have to bridge that gap. So that's all thanks to the work that was done with the service level agreement. And there is punitive damages in there as a part of accountability. So I don't see any reason why we can't go back and add some language here to safeguard ourselves.
Just protect preemption. It's a big deal. And just to, be redundant, Mr. Knighton, thank you for your leadership to Chief's point on the whole SLA piece. You've been a leader with the city managers in terms of getting that done. And David, for your work as well. And Chief, thank you. Great job.
All right, thank you. Any other questions or comments regarding this matter? All right, seeing none, we'll entertain a motion to move this item forward. Motion by Councilmember Beeson, second by Councilmember Hills. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All right, that passes unanimously and moves forward. Item number 3 is listed on the agenda, is an exciting project related to Riverside Park. However, there are a couple of things that we need to, technical matters that we need to ensure are in order with that one. So we'll respectfully ask that that one is deferred until our a committee meeting in our future. And then we'll go on to item number 4, which is consideration of a resolution to apply for and accept an FY 2025 Bulletproof Vest Partnership Grant with Chief Conroy.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. This is a grant that we typically receive every year. This is from the Department of Justice Bureau of Justice Assistance, the Bulletproof Vest Partnership Grant. The amounts vary each year. This year, the total amount's $32,000, which is a $16,000 grant with a $16,000 match from the Support Services Machinery and Equipment Fund. That would purchase 30 ballistic vests at a cost of $1,067 per vest. These are the ballistic vests that we issue to our officers. They're custom fit, and they do have a 5-year expiration.
All right, thank you, Chief Conroy. Questions for Chief Conroy? Mayor Wilson.
Thanks, Chief, for your leadership on this. And just to illustrate that for everybody here, you have got a turnstile program on this. So basically, you're basically cycling these out once every 5 years.
Correct, and this does not cover all of our vests, but it does help augment a significant number of the vests.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Any other questions or comments regarding this matter? All right, seeing none, we'll entertain a motion. Motion by Councilmember Beeson, second by Councilmember Hills. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All right, that passes unanimously, and that does committee's meeting for November 10th, 2025. Before entertaining a motion, we do invite everybody to 7 o'clock p.m. in council chambers for the mayor and council meeting this evening. We're having that meeting tonight, obviously, as per usual, and we invite everybody to Veterans Day ceremony tomorrow as well. We'll entertain a motion of adjournment. Motion by Councilmember Johnson, second by Councilmember Morthland. All in favor? All right, that passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Yes, we will go to council chambers for a special called meeting.